Hey traders, this is Dave with the Compass Options Trading Room and Text Alert Service. And I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight. I'm going to try to talk about one of the strategies that we have called the SPY Super System. And I'm going to be doing trade of the day several times a week to the best trades that we found during the day on this methodology. And I just kind of want to go over it so you can see what it looks like. It's something that we call out in my trading room every day, which I have open from market open to market close. And these are fairly quick trades, only one on at a time, but they're great for people who want to be in the room and can't be there all day, but want to be able to take some trades during the day and make some profits on the SPYs, the Qs, the IWM. So we're going to just go through this. I'll show you what the structure is, show you how you can trade these, and if you like it, you can come into the room and trade them with us. Again, it's called the Super System Intraday Trading. This is for the intraday trade. This will be a trade of the day. First thing I'm going to do, of course, is the disclaimer. All signals and trading opportunities you provide here are for educational and demonstration purposes only. Trading is very risky, so you should never trade with more money than you can afford to lose. And neither myself or Right Line Trading are licensed financial advisors, so we won't be giving financial advice. All right, just going to get started here. That's just a graphic of the alert service that I have. We do have rules to trade by in the room. We only trade the very best trades. Trade the best, skip the rest. You'll see that when I go to the setup on this, the intraday trades on the indexes. And our objective is not to make trades. Our objective is to make money. So we go ahead and just trade the best trade setups that we can find. And I'll show you how we do that. We need an edge. I run this on the piece of software called the Compass System that I run on my Thinkorswim platform. I don't trade on Thinkorswim, but I do load the software on Thinkorswim, and that's where we're going to get our indicators from. That I'll show you how we find these SPY Super System trades. And we do trade relative strength and relative weakness. In the case of the indexes, one of the things you'll see is we trade if the market's bullish for the day, we trade the strongest index. If it's bearish for the day, we trade the weakest index. Right, and we do always want to try to buy support and sell at resistance. And again, this is just a brief. This is just a graphic that lets you know that what we're doing is we're following the institutions, and the institutions are this big marble here. This is what drives the market. These are us retail traders here. The institutions are investment banks, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, hedge funds, and mutual funds like T. Rowe Price and Vanguard, those type of things. That's where all the money comes from. This is what drives the market. Our job as retail traders is to find out when the institutions are in and trade with them. When they're not in the trade, we don't want to be in the trade. And again, algos have taken over the market. About 80% of the trades are done by algos, which are computerized trading algos or trading programs that all of the institutions and all of the institutions have, including the hedge funds and mutual funds. And they take money from retail traders because they can identify what retail traders are following, like MACD crossovers, RSIs, etc. And they just go ahead and write programs to bust those trades. All right, so Compass System, I'm going to show you. This is how we find these high probability SPY Super System trades. It identifies high probability trade setups, and we skip the ones that don't look good. It does this by identifying when institutions are driving the move and when they're not. And it analyzes complex data and displays them in easily identifiable format. And I'll show you that as we get into this. But again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the Compass System. The Compass System is what we use to make this determination. And you can see that if you're in my room, it's displayed on the screen every single day. We follow it all day long. All right, so the indicators we use for the SPY Super System. The indexes we'll be trading will be the SPY, the Qs, or the IWM. These are the three major indexes: S&P 500, NASDAQ, Russell 2000. The indicator we're going to be using on the Compass System is the current time frame momentum. I'll show you what that is. We look for color changes. Color changes tell us if the institutions are going from bearish to bullish or from not trading to bullish, etc. But the color changes will tell us what the momentum is. And the important support and resistance levels we'll use, we've got two of them. We use the volume weighted average price, the VWAP. That's a support and resistance level. So again, price above the VWAP for longs, price below the VWAPs for short. You'll see that pretty clearly when I show you some of the trades. The other support resistance level I use is a 15 EMA of an EMA. We have a smooth 15 EMA on our compass system. And again, one of the support resistance levels that can be used. Both of these are the I use for support and resistance levels to enter these SPY super system trades. And then there's another line on our chart which is called the pivot point. It's a white line. Basically, it would be a support or resistance level for the indexes at that point. And the only reason I mention that is because if you enter a trade, you don't want this pivot point to be too close to where you're entering because of the fact that it'll limit the upside potential or the downside potential on the trade. All right, so these are the indicators we use. All right, now momentum is the key thing we're using here. We're going to be looking at current time frame momentum, and it's critical in determining if institutions are in the trade. And many traders misunderstand what constitutes momentum. What's momentum really? This is a graphic of momentum. These are candlesticks. These are green. These would be green candlesticks. This is a stock price moving up. Now, momentum just doesn't mean you're getting green candlesticks after green candlesticks. And momentum is not like stepping on the gas on a car and having the car accelerate. How we measure momentum is we look at this is the high of the candle. This is the open of the candle. So this is the open. This is the high. This is the close. The next candle is open, high, close. Next candle, open, high, close. Notice that the close of each candle is getting closer and closer to the high of that particular candle. That's what we measure, and that's what constitutes momentum. So when we see momentum and the institution's buying, this is what it's identifying. Same thing on the downside. Obviously, as the close gets closer and closer to the low, that's a deceleration or basically a downside move. That would be momentum to the downside. All right, so just keep that in mind when I show you that's what we're measuring for momentum here. Now, the SPY super system setup criteria. These are the criteria that we use to find these trades. And I'm going to show you some, and I'm going to try to do one several times a week to show you the trades that we took during that particular day. Again, we're going to trade the strongest index on an up day and the weakest index on a down day. So you're looking at the SPYs, the Qs, and the IWM. And whichever is the strongest on a bullish day, that's the one you're going to trade. Whichever is the weakest, that's the one you're going to trade on a bearish day. If they're all around the same, it doesn't matter. You can trade any of them based on how close the resistance is to them and how close support is. We're going to be entering the trade when the current momentum indicator changes from red or yellow to blue or green. And I'll show you these colors. Red or yellow is bearish, blue or green is bullish. This tells us that the institutions are going from selling to buying, and we can identify it. So when that color changes, we can go long. When the current momentum indicator changes from blue or green, which is bullish, to yellow or red, that would be a short entry. So it's the color change that tells us what the momentum is doing when the institutions are going from bullish to bearish and bearish to bullish. If you're going to go long on an index, if we're going long on the SPYs, the Q, the IWM, the index should be green for the day. It should be up for the day. If going short, the index should be down for the day. Basically, we're just trading the trend. And the stock price should be above the VWAP for long and below the VWAP for short. This is the key to finding these trades, and it'll be a lot clearer when I show it to you on the chart. So the best this is the best entry setups. So this is actually the setups that we're looking for, and there are two high probability setups that should be traded. For longs, obviously we're going to take the strongest bullish index. The price should be moving up through the VWAP or bouncing off the VWAP after pullback to it. So the VWAP becomes your support level. And as the stock breaks up through that, the stock price breaks up through it or comes down to it and bounces off of it, that would be your entry. And the current momentum indicator must be blue or green. All right, now it could just switch. It could switch from red to blue or green right on that candle, but it must be blue or green. It's got to be bullish. We got to know the institutions are in there buying when we take the long. Now we can also trade the strongest bullish index, the price moving up through the 15 EMA or bouncing off the 15 EMA after pullback. So we choose the VWAP as one of our resistance and support levels, the 15 as another. And the current momentum indicator must be blue or green. Exactly the same, except you're just using a different support or resistance level on these entries. For shorts, we get 2 high probability setups that can be traded. What we just saw on the longs is the same. We're going to trade the weakest bearish index. We're going to the price should be moving down through the VWAP, bouncing off the VWAP after a move up to it. In other words, the VWAP becomes resistance. It turns around and heads back down again. The current momentum indicator must be yellow or red. Or we can trade the weakest bearish index with the price moving down through the 15 EMA or bouncing off the 15 EMA after a move up. Exactly the opposite of what we had for the longs. And again, the current momentum indicator must be yellow or red. The institutions have to be selling. Right. So this is the 2 setups that we'll be looking for: 2 bearish type setups and 2 bullish type setups. All right. So this is the trade of the day that I did on Friday. So this is the SPY Super System trade right here. This is the SPY. This is a 5-minute chart. This is Friday. Now I'm going to do these several times a week, but I'll just leave this one out here so you can see. So basically, we've got several things here that you're looking at. But right here, I've got this. This is the current time frame momentum. This is the one we're looking to go from red to blue, for example. That's bearish to bullish, red to blue. It's current time frame momentum. The pink line is the VWAP, the volume weighted average price, and the green line is the 15 EMA. All right, so those are our support resistance levels we're using. This is the indicator that we're using for momentum, current time frame momentum. Those are basically the keys to this trade. Now, this is the one that I traded on Friday, and if you look at this, this is the entry right here. You notice that the current time frame momentum went from red to blue right here. So institutions buying, selling, institutions buying right here on this particular candle. The compass system puts a pop out of the box signal right there. This pink arrow that tells you that it's breaking compression. That can also give you some extra confidence in the trade. But notice I took the trade as the price moved up through the VWAP. Is the VWAP right here? The 15's right on top of it. The price moved through the VWAP when the institutions went from selling to buying. This was a perfect entry for a trade to take the SPY. This was the SPY we took, and I entered it right here, and I just it kind of moved sideways, but everything stayed. You notice that it stayed blue all the way across here, and then went to green, and then the stock started to move up, and this is where I get out right here. Again, most of these trades are fairly quick. They're only going to last, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. But as soon as I get some momentum drop, this is where I took the trade off right here, and this is the 15 EMA right here. But this is where I get out of this trade. It moved up. You can see it moved up pretty nicely. $220 profit per contract on this particular move, and this is beautiful. And you get several of these. One of the things I want to point out is if you're trading intraday trades and you're in my room, then you obviously don't have to be in there all day because these trades occur, usually several times during the day. You have to wait for the setups, but the trades don't last very long, so you don't have to be hanging around, for 2 hours to stay in the trade, and you don't have to be in there all day long. So I have a lot of people that are in the room that they're all day, and they like to take the swing trades off the stocks that we take. We take a lot of spreads and things, but this is a strategy that's really, really nice for anybody who likes to trade indexes, wants to take some quick profits each day, and find if you're going to identify these setups. They're really not that complicated to see. I know it looks like a lot, but it's not. You're looking at this line, you're looking at the VWAP, you're looking at the 15 EMA, and you're basically looking at the 3 indexes and taking the strongest one on a bullish day and the weakest one on a bearish day. So this trade was a trade of the day for Friday. You can see how easy this is to see. Red to blue. This is bearish to bullish right here. Institutions selling, institutions buying. All right, so I knew it went to blue. Now I got to check and see, do I have a break? I do have a break right through the VWAP on that same candle. Now sometimes the break may not occur until 2 or 3 candles further down, and it will have already be blue. But when it changes from red to blue and you get the break at the same time, you're really kind of getting in at the very beginning of when the institutions are starting to buy here. So that's what gave us this really nice move on this trade. on the SPY. And again, this is a really nice nice pop on this thing. And you know, 220 a contract's pretty nice. You know, if 10 contracts, $2,200, so it's pretty nice. Again, here's the VWAP. This is the key. It was breaking through the VWAP. You can see that pretty clearly here, and kept on moving up. And it's starting to lose a little momentum here, so we're out. So we took profits right there on that candle as we get wicking a tail and a basic candle right here that just went to a doji. All right, so that's the super system. I'm going to go through a few that we've done before on this one, but generally I'm just going to show one each day to show the best one and use the same information so you can see how we took that. But again, intraday trading on the SPYs, Qs, and IWM. But I've been doing this for a long time, but I've only started tracking them for the room starting in July. But we were 16-0 in July. August, we've had 7 tradings days. I'm doing a lot more because I'm looking for a lot more of them. We're 19-2. With the SPY super system, you only have one trade on at a time, and they're very short duration trades. So you can just follow the one trade and just follow that and get out. And if you have to go out, leave and do some other things, you've made your money and you get away. But it's kind of a nice way to enhance some profitability for you if you can't be a person that wants to trade all day, but you can come into the room for an hour or two. All right, and this is just some of the other ones we took, just so you can see. You can see the red to blue. You see the break up through the VWAP right here, and there's a nice little move right there. This was another SPY super system setup through the VWAP with going from red to blue, and perfect setup right here for the SPY. This is an IWM. This was an IWM short right here. You can see that you notice how here it's green, but it goes to yellow right here as it breaks down through the VWAP. So this is bearish, and it broke down through the VWAP, and we took a short right here and just wrote it down. And this is a standard deviation line right here. It's kind of a support level. I get out right there. Fairly quick trade, about 5 candles. IWM here for long. Again, if I'm looking at this, you notice it's quite a ways away from the VWAP, but here's the 15. So I'm looking for a pullback to approximately the 15 EMA, so I'm not too far up. And right here where it went green after being yellow, right here in this break, this is where I took it, and it just marched up, and I get out here as it flattened out. Not a huge move, but a pretty nice move, only about a half-an-hour trade. And here's the SPY. This was another nice one in the SPY. This is what the SPY was bearish on the day, and it broke down below the VWAP right here, and I took it short and took it down just for 3 candles. Now, if you're going to go long on this, and as it breaks above the VWAP, it depends on if the SPY was long that day. But I want to point out here that you notice that we went from red to blue. So this is short to long right here with a break above the VWAP. You could take that long actually if you wanted to, even though the SPY was probably negative for the day. But this white line is the pivot point I talked about. That becomes a resistance level. So if you get into the trade here long, you can ride it up here. But as soon as it gets close to the pivot point, you're out. And I did take this trade, and I get out here on this candle. I didn't wait. Once it starts to get that close, I'm out of the trade. And that's the spot right there. And one more SPY trade right here. Again, right, you can see green and yellow, bullish, bearish. Breaking down below the 15 with a pop out of the box symbol, take it short here. Notice it stayed below the 15. It never went above the 15. That is your stop if it goes above the 15. If it goes above your support or resistance level, or it breaks your support or resistance level to the opposite direction that you're going, then you get out. But here you didn't have to, and it went sideways, and notice it stayed yellow and then red, and so you just ride it down here, and then you get a nice flush right here, and then you get out. All right, so that's the SPY super system trade. I've got a few more of them. I'm not going to go all of them. You can see the break above the VWAP right here. You can see this is green. So I just kind of wanted to cover that. Again, this is for trades that we take in the room. I don't alert on these. These are trades we take in the room for folks who want to be trading fairly quick intraday trades on the SPYs, the Qs, the IWM. The setup is absolutely if you know how to take them and you've got the information on your chart, especially if you have the compass system, you can see all of this stuff. It's very, very nice setup. And again, we're 19-2 this month on these things on 7 trading days, so that's pretty good. So anyway, I want to thank you all for listening to it. If you're interested, there'll be some information at the end of the video on my trading room and the alert service. But This is you need to be in the trading room to see these kind of trades and to see me call them out and trade them during the day. I got a lot of folks using this, and it's worked out really well. So thanks very much, everybody, and look forward to having another video here in a couple of days for another SPY Super System trade of the day. And you guys have a great evening. See everybody this week.